I used to be totally anti-white. Hated the white man. White man should be oblivious of the planet. And it wasn't until I began to learn about African studies when I got into studying African studies and Latino, quote unquote Latino studies, because we're both African. But learning about slavery and learning that slavery was based initially on monetary. It had nothing to do with race, it had nothing to do with sex, it had to do with the fact it was cheap labor. And realizing that in the second triangular slave trade, how race and sex played more of the role in slavery, and realizing that religion was the main justification in slavery, because you had to teach a people that they were savage and heathen. You had to teach them that God is white in order to justify your actions for enslaving the people. I think that this is my opinion. And in our fourth belief, in our 15 beliefs in Zulu Nation, it speaks about we do not believe in capitalism and white supremacy. I think that when people began to realize exactly what capitalism is, and when people really begin to realize what white supremacy is, you could have the darkest skinned person amongst you but be a white supremacist. It doesn't, when we realize that, I do agree that race definitely plays a role. You know what I mean? But you can see that. I will say the religion of Islam is racist, but I will say Muslims are racist. I would say that even when you study that, you can see that there is that essence of white supremacy in the religion. You can see it in the church. You can see it. It's here. And I think that once people can stop being so emotional and trying to deal logically with what the situation is, what the problem is, what the whole dynamic of the situation is, I think that is the key. I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I think that once we eliminate and abolish capitalism, I love Kwame Ture. Kwame Ture said, in the world we have two forms of government. You're either a socialist or you're capitalist. Evidently I'm a socialist. And I hold to that. Because socialism, people say, oh, it was a white man that named it socialism. But socialism existed before that white man called it socialism. The act of just being onto society and onto human man, how you would treat them, the fact that we should have free education, free healthcare, it makes my family's from Cuba. It makes, and I love Fidel Castro. I love the man. I would take Fidel Castro any day over any president of the United States. I'm not saying I agree with everything with Fidel Castro, but he's honest, and it is what it is. There's not going to be no sugarcoating. You know what I mean? Like, it's, how is it that Cuba has no illiteracy? There is no illiteracy in Cuba. Everybody can read and write Spanish in Cuba. Free healthcare. This is supposedly a third world country. But over here, it's crazy about healthcare. I just got my healthcare recently. It's insane. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you have to pay for education, because if everybody was equally being educated and was going to school for free, that means all of us in this room are architects or doctors or lawyers or whatever. So that means that we are all contributing back into society, and the society is going to prosper. It's because people are stingy. And people are more concerned with money than the value of a soul. And the brother here in the nation God's earth. One thing I definitely, I have respect for nation God's earth. You know what I mean? Father-in-law said, he said, I'm neither pro-black nor anti-white. I'm pro-righteousness and anti-rebellishness. It's the individual. You know what I mean? Like, for people, I've had these arguments as of lately about the quote-unquote Latinos that are fair complected. And I'm saying that because I'm assuming that you guys are quote-unquote Latino. Y'all have to, we all have to stick together. We have to work together. It's like, it gotta be like Voltron, man. It's this separation stuff is insane. You know what I mean? I've had people come at me about certain things. It's like, you obviously don't know your history, man. You know what I mean? What are you professing? Who drove the getaway car for Asada Shakur? Does anybody know? It was a white woman. Well, Asada Shakur was a revolutionary, a Panther BLA. She was accused of killing an officer. She was incarcerated in Clinton, New Jersey. And it was a white person, a white woman from the Weathermen. There was a white revolutionary that was driving the getaway car. They got her to Cuba. I mean, John Brown killed white people. He didn't like slavery. Not saying he wasn't an opportunist. Not saying that, but he was against it. So I think that once we align and I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying slobbering all about some white person joining us. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if somebody is against white supremacy and against capitalism, I'll deal with you. We can't limit ourselves, and we have to realize this is a bigger issue than, it's huge. It's about money. It's a business.
I would like to talk.
Sorry. What's the environment on the campus right now? What's going on campus?
Nothing.
Dead.
It's dead? Why?
They decided that over 10 years ago when they drove us off.
Why? What's going on campus?
That's Dr. Memphis.
Nobody's fully aware of what's going on. Everything is like, you know, party, semester. Let's do this. Like we had a fire drill Monday night. I was in final fire drill. I didn't go outside because it's cold out that night. And I'm at my window. All I hear is, you know, like it was like 1 in the morning or whatever. Yeah, where's the next party going to be at? Such and such. Yeah, and this is black people. I'm hearing, and I'm like, not 4 hours ago, I didn't hear the whole meaning behind that decision, and you know, not going to indict him. The life is worse for this, so that's just you know, get out together, you know. So the campus doesn't do anything. Right? My player had a protest.
How about Katie? Did y'all do anything?
They're planning something going on tonight. Guys, like, they're telling me about it, so I'm planning on going, but there's something going on tonight that it's just, I feel like with Candace, it's not, there's no direction there. It's like the need for it, like we was at a West Indies meeting and they was talking about how they want to do something, they just don't know how, they just don't know how to, they don't have direction at Candace. So it's like the need for somebody to be like, put it together, organize it. And it's people I believe that's there that will definitely jump on.
It might be you.
That's what
It might be you and that juju
That's what
elbow.
Elbow, again, and tell them get the rest of them.
I mean, cause like it's the error, like so, like the brother was saying, like social media, y'all hashtag everything. You hashtag, Keisha get on it. You know, I mean, it's the same way. I mean, I don't know that any one of us ever really got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go shop Black Friday, but you know, they saying that it was an impact, you know, and you know, so that was major. I mean, and it was a matter of hashtag and Facebook and things like that. I mean, so I mean, not for nothing, you guys are right there in a closed-in community where you should be able to. Somebody can make a flyer, and how much they cost? You know, I mean, somebody got an office job. Somebody got an office job where you could make a couple of, you know what I mean? Like even if you made a roller flyer and you took a picture and you tagged 10 people and they tagged 10 more people and things like that. So it can't be, you know, I'm not trying to come down on you, but we can't make the excuse that we don't know what to do and we don't know the direction because, I mean, we YouTubed everything else. So, I mean, we can learn how to put up, you know, we can learn, because all it is knocking on the door like we rolling. You gotta get suited and booted. It's time to roll out. We gotta make a stance. brother was talking about is the black people that was saying party this, party this, party that. All the white folks was quiet because they was nervous. They didn't know what was going to happen. Them mugs pulled the fire alarm to see what was going to happen. That's what happened. Y'all wasn't ready to turn up.
That was hard.
You know what I'm saying? So again, like if we gonna be angry, we gonna be angry. And I'm not saying because even when I meant to touch on that, even when I was hearing, because you're right, we don't own a whole bunch of things, but it doesn't give me the right to tear up where I live. History shows us that our stuff does not get rebuilt. So if you want to move me out, even if other people are pouring the gasoline, do I really want to like this match? Newark 1967 riots. I can promise you that the area where the riot was on Springfield Avenue and Irving Turner Boulevard has just, when I tell you it has just gotten done. They just built the Sonic there. And we're talking about 1967. Where buildings were blown up, police shot women through the window with a baby, she just putting her babies down, all of that stuff, like the energy there. I wasn't born then, but I remember being a child years later and that nervous tension that's always been in that area. There's death right there, and it's a feeling of it. So now it's being revitalized. But so when we're talking about wanting to do something, we got to tear stuff up, but we got to tear the right things up, and we got to make the right people uncomfortable. We can't, the lady, the black woman had a small business. She was able to get a little storefront to sell her cakes and pies. The Negroes ain't care that it was a black woman's store. They tore it up. So now she whining and crying. Now, I don't want to say it like whining and crying, but she's upset because her whole life savings got tore up by something that maybe she was angry about too. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to be mindful, like, yeah, let's be mad. All right, we're going to be mad, but we got to be mad for the right reasons. I don't want to be mad at Keisha and smacking Kareem. That ain't fair. So, you know what I'm saying? And I can't make Street Doctor suffer for my anger when I don't even know why I'm mad. Why I'm mad? I'm mad because everybody else mad? Or did I do enough investigation to really, really be mad? You know what I'm saying? So we can't be, don't come to my neighborhood and say nothing else. I got something for y'all. I live in the hood. I live in the hood too.